service, for everything that you do for America and our community. God bless you all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here, obviously. We want to welcome Senator Scott, and he brought a guest with him, and we have several guests. Right now, let me go ahead, and I'm going to introduce Vladimir Lorenzo. Vladimir is the owner of Vladimir Laminates, which is hosting us today.
Thank you to Senator Sullivan for flying down from Alaska to support us.
A long way.
And many thanks to Rick Scott. It's an honor to have you here with us and our veteran family business. With this, I introduce Senator Rick Scott.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Well, first, Vladimir, thank you very much for hosting us. Thank you for your support. I want to thank all the veterans that are here. If you think about it, none of us would have the opportunity to live the freedoms that we have if it wasn't for people that put their lives on the line. In my case, I was blessed. I have an adopted father that was one of 3,000 people that did all 4 combat jumps with the 82nd Airborne. And then he fought in the Battle of the Bulge. So he told me the Germans were bad, the food was bad, the foxholes were bad, so I joined the Navy. There were no foxholes, the food wasn't great, and there were no it was hot, wasn't great, but we got food every day, and no foxholes. So I want to just recognize a few people. Vladimir, thank you again for hosting us. I want to thank everybody from the 2506 Brigade. Raise your hand if you're part of the 2506. Okay, so we, you know, we've got to remember that we've got to continue to fight for the freedom and liberty of Cuba and Nicaragua and Venezuela and Colombia, all of Latin America. And the only hope we have is if we keep our freedoms here in the United States. So these elections really matter. I want to recognize a few other people. My good friend, who used to be my mayor that I got to work with, got elected about the same time, who's now your congressman, has done a great job and beat my opponent really badly. Hope I do as well. Carlos, no pressure on me. Carlos Jimenez, thank you for being here. Somebody that I have a Coast Guard officer in my office. I've been up there almost 6 years. I get new one every 2 years. And so I put a lot of effort into helping the Coast Guard. But somebody that's been a big supporter of the Coast Guard and also is going to turn Broward County red, Peggy Brown, the mayor of Weston. Now, some of you know, I gave out 15,000 Veterans Medals when I was governor. And every Marine said the same thing to me. They were the men's division of the Navy, but I'm sure Rod Jovas would never say that. A Marine Corps, where's Rod? A Marine Corps veteran, thank you for being here. And he was a former Democrat candidate for the Senate and came out and endorsed me and supported me and President Trump. And I want to thank you for being here. We've got, let's see, let's go. Yvette, Yvette Von, she lives where I live, in Naples, U.S. Air Force veteran, candidate for the Florida House Representative. She won her primary, a very tough primary, and won, so congratulations. Where's Elena? Elena Garcia. Oh, Elena Garcia. So state rep is running for supervisor elections, and basically, if you want to make sure your vote is going to be counted fairly, you want to make sure she wins her election. So thank you. Next was Daryl. All right, yep. So Daryl is running for the tax collector and is working his butt off. We've done rallies together. We've had a lot of fun working together. So thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. Next, we got Jesus Navarro, congressional candidate for CDR 24. Where's right here? Let's go. We're going to win. Thank you for being here. We've got, let's see, who else we have? We have Yaro Restrepo, President Ave Maria, veteran. So thank you for being here. And I got Julio. Can't read this very well. U.S. Army veteran. I read my own writing better. So thank you for being here. So I want to thank everybody for being here. First off, we have to support our military. Senator Sullivan, where's Dan? Dan and I sit next to each other. Dan and I want to thank Dan for coming up. We sit next to each other on armed services. If we don't support our military, then all the freedoms we believe in, they're going away. If you care about the freedom of liberty in Cuba and Venezuela, Nicaragua, wherever in Latin America, Colombia, Brazil, all the places where we have a struggle right now, if it wasn't for what Dan's doing and what we're doing on armed services, we're not going to have our freedoms. We're not going to be able to fight for them. So here he comes from Alaska. He's close to communism. He's close to Russia. So
see it from my house. Right?
Yeah, you can almost see it. Yeah, it's closer than us. So, but I want to thank Senator Sullivan for being here. He's here down here campaigning for me to make sure we win this election. We have got to win this election, and we've got to get a majority. So, su apoyo es muy importante para mí. Gracias por su apoyo. La libertad, democracia y libertad en los Estados Unidos, Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela es muy importante. Gracias por el apoyo. Yo trabajo duro por todos los Estados Unidos, por la libertad de los Estados Unidos. Now let me turn it over to my friend, Dan Sullivan.
Okay, all right. Well, hello, Florida. Wow. Yeah. It's a little warmer in Florida than it is in Alaska right now, I will say. And so you might be asking, like, hey, what are you doing, Senator Sullivan? You're like 5,000 miles from home. And I am. I checked today. I think it's from Miami to Anchorage. It's 4,920 miles. So I am 5,000 miles. I am 5,000 miles from home. What am I doing? I am here to support a great American and a great United States Senator, Rick Scott.
Even if he's Navy.
Yeah, I just retired out of the Marine Corps after 30 years. So I got my Marine Corps hat. But I am here to support my good friend, and he is my good friend, Rick Scott. When you look at his background, this guy has done it all. Came out of poverty, built a company, a world-class company. By the way, what did he do? He served in the United States Navy, right? How about? So he is a veteran. He used his GI Bill to go to college, and then he became a great governor of the state of Florida, and now he is a great United States Senator, and we have to make sure he gets reelected. Have to. All right, so let's talk about what he does in terms of veterans, in terms of the Armed Services Committee. We sit on that committee together, right? And we care. Everybody cares about the military, but you guys all know the veterans, they feel it because they've done it. They've served. They see the sacrifice. They've seen the family sacrifice. So Rick Scott, when we retake the Senate, when he gets reelected and we Republicans take the Senate majority from Chuck Schumer, how about a big round of applause for that? Damn, we got to get rid of that dude, okay? He will be the chairman of the Personnel Subcommittee on Armed Services. He will be the chairman. Okay, that's 40% of the budget. Right now, he's what's called the ranking member. So he's the top Republican on that subcommittee. He has fought, and I've seen it firsthand. He has fought for pay raises for our military. He has fought for better health care for our military. He has fought to make sure this problem we have with suicide in our ranks is addressed. He has led on that right now. That's what he's doing. He's doing an amazing job. All right, let me make one final point on the difference, and it is a huge difference between Democrats and Republicans on so many issues, the border, the economy, inflation, you name it. But one of the biggest areas where there's a giant difference is on our military, I see this, we see this every day. Here's the difference. Republicans, we believe in peace through strength. We believe in peace through strength. That's how you avoid wars. We believe in building our military, increasing lethality, being strong. By the way, that's what every veteran in America wants. Every veteran. Democrats, and this is just a fact, it's a fact, they don't believe in this at all. Think about it. Carter, Clinton, Obama, Biden, Harris, every single one of those administrations, they came into office, and the number one thing they did, they cut our military, they killed readiness. Biden and Harris had put forward 4 budgets in their 4 years. Every time they put forward a budget for the military, they cut it. They increased the budgets for every other federal agency by 20, 30%. The military always gets cut. This year's budget for Biden and Harris shrinks the Army, shrinks the Navy, shrinks the Marine Corps. You think Xi Jinping, the dictator in China, or Vladimir Putin, you think they're impressed? They're not impressed. We need Republicans who understand the military, like Rick Scott, re-elected. We need to retake the Senate, retake the White House, and do what's the most important thing we can during these dangerous times, rebuild the lethality and strength of our military. And Rick Scott is 110% behind doing that. I'm very honored to be here with all these great veterans in Florida. Thank you, Rick Scott. Re-elect this great guy. Thank you.
Rick Scott. Rick Scott. Thank you. Up next, someone that needs no introduction, but I'm still going to introduce him anyway. And an interesting fact. He is the only firefighter that is actually serving in Congress. Please welcome our own U.S. Congressman Carlos Jimenez.
Thank you. And
Mayor and a great Congress.
thank you. I've worn a lot of hats, that's for sure. But for me, it's always a great honor to be with Senator, Governor Scott. We worked together really close when I was the mayor of Miami-Dade County and he was the governor. And now I sit on House Armed Services. You sit on Senate Armed Services. I'm impressed by 2 things. I'm impressed that he got a senator to come 5,000 miles from Alaska to come and be at this event. But I'm also really more impressed with the fact that you got a Marine actually endorsing a guy from the Navy. All right, so that's really quite a feat. All right, now, right. Senator Sullivan was absolutely right. At a time when actually we need to be spending more on our veterans, more on defense, the Biden-Harris administration has done everything in its power to weaken the United States of America. And I can tell you, not only do I sit on the House Armed Services Committee, but I also sit on the Select Committee on China. And now is not the time to be weak. Now is the time to rebuild our military, give our veterans the benefits and the pay that they deserve so that we can maintain the greatest armed services the world has ever seen. But we won't be the greatest armed services unless we pick up the pace, because China is trying to catch up and they're doing a pretty good job of catching up with it. So, Senator, yes, I beat Debbie Merkel-Powell. And I am glad, that I kicked her out of Congress. And I am sure of one thing, you're going to keep her out of Congress. Because we don't need Debbie Merkel-Powell. We don't need another squad wannabe. We don't need somebody with her socialist kind of ideas in being a senator for the state of Florida or a senator from any state, actually. And so I'll be absolutely, helping you in any way I can, because Debbie Merkel-Powell cannot be a senator. But on top of that, Senator Scott has done a tremendous job representing the people of Florida. Senator Scott has also done a tremendous job protecting America. And that's what counts the most. And by the way, our freedom is not free. Our freedom, unfortunately, is paid with blood. And it's the blood of the people standing behind me, the veterans, that have paid the price to keep us free. We need to support them. I know Senator Scott will support them. I will support them. And we need the state of Florida to help support Senator Scott by electing him and returning him to Washington so that he can help us here in the state of Florida, and also help America stay free and safe. And with that, thank you. God bless you. What's that? En español. Okay. Primero, estoy muy impresionado como habla ahora español el senador Scott. Como ha mejorado durante su tiempo aquí como gobernador y senador también. Pero es muy importante que tenemos que reelegir al senador Scott. ¿Por qué? Porque él está mucho más cercano a los principios de nosotros aquí en la Florida y de América que Debbie Powell. Yo tuve el privilegio de sacarla del Congreso y derrotarla. Ahora vamos a ayudar al senador Scott que la mantenga afuera del Congreso, que es la última cosa que ella merece. Rick Scott es la persona que va a proteger a nosotros aquí en el estado de Florida y también a América. Nosotros servimos, él sirve en el Comité de las Fuerzas Armadas del Senado, y yo sirvo en el Comité de las Fuerzas Armadas de la Cámara. Y te puedo decir que sí, tenemos amenazas, y la amenaza más grande que tenemos es la China comunista. Si quieres ser más débil, vamos a votar por Kamala Harris, y vamos a ser más fuerte y mantener la paz con fuerza. Tenemos que votar, tenemos que elegir a Donald J. Trump como presidente de los Estados Unidos y a Rick Scott como senador del estado de la Florida. Con eso, muchas gracias, que Dios lo bendiga a todos.
Thank you, Congressman. Now we're going to hear from a young lady who is running for supervisor of elections. She is a sitting state representative. Please welcome Alina Garcia.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with our great senator from the state of Florida, Rick Scott. He's done such a great job. He did a great job as a governor, and he's doing a great job as a senator. This is a team sport, and we need for you all to go out and vote. Elections will start on Monday. We have early voting that starts on Monday, so please make sure that you go out and vote. Vote Republican, vote for the entire ticket. My name is Alina Garcia, and my number is number 78. I'll see you at the polls. Mi nombre es Alina García y estoy postulada para supervisora de elección, y para mí es un honor y un privilegio estar aquí apoyando a nuestro querido y gran Rick Scott. Él ha sido un gran gobernador y ahora está haciendo un gran trabajo como senador de los Estados Unidos. Es sumamente importante regresar a Rick Scott al Senado, y es muy importante votar por todos los republicanos. Esta es una elección que es muy importante. El comunismo es algo que existe y quieren meterse aquí en este país, y hay que decirle que no a los comunistas y al socialismo. Así que voten republicano de Donald Trump para abajo. Mi nombre es Alina García con el número 78 en la boleta. Que Dios me los bendiga.
Thank you, Alina. And now let's welcome someone who is originally from Hialeah. She moved to our blue neighbor, the county up north, but through her conservative Republican principles, she has been making inroads, and now she is turning the city of Weston into a Republican stronghold for us. Please welcome Mayor Margaret Peggy Brown, who is also a U.S. Coast Guard veteran.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure to come back home. I know Mayor Bovo, who's not here today, who's also a Republican, and I always tell him he's my mayor. And I'm just here, I'm glad I'm in support of Governor Senator Rick Scott. This man is really a man of commitment. I know from the years that I've served as mayor in the city of Weston, he's gone out of his way to help individuals that are in our community, not just the city of Weston, but Broward County, whether it's settling an immigration issue, whether it's writing a letter for an endorsement for an appointment at a military academy. Senator Scott's continually there for us, and for that I'm very appreciative. As you might imagine, I'm a mayor of 70,000, and often a lot of times I get concerns. There's not a time that I don't pick up the phone and one of his staff members are readily available. And that's what's important. People run for the office, but this man actually is there to serve us continuously. Wherever you are in the state of Florida, I watch this man everywhere and how he serves our community. He's always available to the residents, and for that, I think we're grateful. More importantly, I'm grateful to call him my friend, and he definitely has my vote as re-election for Senator of the great state of Florida, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And now please welcome someone who ran for U.S. Congress under a different hat, that of a Democrat, but please welcome U.S. Marine veteran Rod Joseph.
Everybody, how you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
I think for 20 years, I served in the military, and also I was in the wrong side of the bed for 20 years. I was follow the crowd instead of follow my instinct. All Haitians, we were born to be Republicans, but we don't know that. Because we stand for the value of families, we stand for all things that see to do with families, raising boys and girls, instead of raising confused kids. But we didn't know that. The media playing our heads. I changed my hat. I switched back after the primary. And after I look up Mr. Former Governor Rick Scott, what he stand for, I couldn't stay on the sidewalk to say I'm not gonna support a great man like him. I switched party, I became a Republican. And I'm proudly endorsing Senator Rick Scott for the next senator for the state of Florida. Please do not buy in the media hype that tell you the Republicans hate the Haitians. I have the record of this great man every day. And whatever he does for the Haitian community, there's no other senators in history of the Florida that have done that. From when he was governor, 2010 to date, nobody beat his records. I join you, my Haitian fellas. Please do not fall for the hype of the media. Vote your heart. The Republican is the party of the Haitian people. The Republicans are the party of every immigrant, because that's when we feel welcome. Because if you want to fight home, the mess that's at home, you need to choose a Republicans to vote. I'm here to support Senator Rick Scott. And you, my fellow Haitian, follow me. Let's elect this man November 1st.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for your service. And now we're going to hear from a gentleman that crossed over from Collier County. We've got him from Broward. We've got visitors from Collier. Please welcome Mr. Jairo Restrepo, U.S. Army veteran and also the president of the Veterans Association of Ave Maria. Thank you. I was pausing for dramatic effect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Let's give a strong round of applause to the next Senate Majority Leader. Right here. He's going to be representing us very well in the Senate. And I've followed him all the way when he was a governor in Florida, respected his work, had outstanding work, and especially representing veterans. We thank you with a deep heart how you represent us in not only as a governor, but also in the Senate. And we need to keep you there. We need to really keep you there. As you know, as we say in the military, we have your six as veterans. Now I'm going to say a little bit in Spanish. La comunidad hispana, tenemos que ser muy conscientes en estas elecciones. Muy importante, yo diría que es un hito estas elecciones que van a venir ahorita en noviembre. No únicamente a nivel presidencial, pero también a nivel de los senadores, congresistas, etc. Es muy importante que la comunidad latina sepa muy bien a quién van a elegir. Especialmente cuando en este momento Latinoamérica está teniendo unos problemas muy graves de comunismo que se está regando por toda Latinoamérica. Y este hombre aquí, que tenemos que ha sido un buen representante, no únicamente cuando fue gobernador, pero también como senador, ha estado muy representativo y muy al pie de todo lo que está pasando en Latinoamérica. O sea, que los latinoamericanos que tienen el voto, tienen el poder de voto, por favor, denle el voto aquí al senador, porque es muy importante para estas elecciones y que Dios lo bendiga y que siga haciendo buen trabajo para la comunidad.
Thank you, Heido. God bless you for your service. Thank you. Up next, we have someone else that crossed over. I don't know if she came from Alligator Rally or Tambamie Trail, but she also is from Collier County, and it was important for her to be here. She soon, God willing, will join myself in the Florida legislature as the next state representative from House District 81, which encompasses Naples, and Senator Scott will be her constituent. Please welcome U.S. Army veteran and candidate, U.S. Air Force veteran and candidate for State House 81, Miss Yvette Benaroche.
Well, thank you, Senator Scott. I mean, you've been a friend of our community for so many years. friend of veterans. I served during Operation Desert Storm. I came from Puerto Rico 20 years ago to Naples with literally nothing. So I have lived my American dream to the point that I will be in the State House of Florida representing my district. And we need to make sure we can preserve that American dream for future generations and make sure that our seniors can keep enjoying their American dream. And the only person that can do that is Senator Scott. So don't be confused, because I know personally, coming from Puerto Rico, that, and this is to my Puerto Rican friends around the state now, let's not forget who was there for us after Hurricane Maria. Never forget who stood with the Puerto Rican people. He did. So we need to make sure that we go out and vote. I know Puerto Ricans are coming to the Republican Party, and I invite them because this is the party for all. So it is time to make sure that we re-elect President Trump and Senator Scott. Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Yvette Benarroch y yo soy la candidata republicana en el Distrito 81 de la Florida, y el senador Scott es mi amigo, pero también es mi ciudadano ahí, so le voy a servir como su representante. Quiero recordarles a todos que no ha habido más amigo de la comunidad hispana que el senador Scott, también amigo de nuestros veteranos. Yo serví durante la guerra del Golfo Pérsico y estoy muy agradecida con nuestro senador. Y a mis hermanos puertorriqueños que estamos aquí en el estado de la Florida, les recuerdo que no se olviden que una persona que estuvo ahí con nosotros cuando estuvo el huracán María fue el senador Scott. Él no se olvidó de los puertorriqueños, nos ayudó. Y recuerden que nosotros venimos aquí buscando el sueño americano. Y es importante que lo preservemos para las futuras generaciones y para nuestros seniors que tanto necesitan retirarse con dignidad. Es muy importante que salgan a votar noviembre 5 por Senator Scott y Donald J. Trump para preservar el sueño americano. Yo lo estoy viviendo. Llegué aquí hace 20 años sin nada y hoy estoy aquí diciéndoles a todos que voy a ser la próxima representante en el Distrito 81 de la Florida. Muchas gracias. A reelegir a Senator Scott.
Wow. Thank you. And God bless you for your service. Senator Sullivan, I think she's been drinking just as much Cuban coffee as you have. Up next, someone who has been working. He also lives the American dream, and everywhere he goes, he talks about it. It's heartfelt and inspiring to talk to him. This young man is a community council member here in Miami-Dade County. He's also running for tax collector this November. Please welcome Dariel Fernandez.
So I always start saying, thank you, God, for the opportunity to live in the best country in the world. I am here for one reason only, to support my great friend, Senator Scott, for his re-election. I think it's important to re-elect Senator Scott because we need people.
But you have an election too.
Okay. Let me finish. So it's important to elect people like Senator Scott. He represents the true American dream. He is a businessman. He was governor of the state of Florida, and now we need he come back as a Senate of the United States of America. My name is Dariel Fernandez. I am running for Miami-Dade County Tax Collector, and my ballot number is 76, now in Spanish. Para mí es un honor estar aquí apoyando la reelección del senador Rick Scott, porque creo que es sumamente importante preservar lo que nosotros tenemos en los Estados Unidos, que es el verdadero sueño americano. El senador Scott representa ese sueño americano como dueño de negocio, representa ese sueño americano también como uno de los mejores gobernadores del estado de la Florida, y hoy necesitamos nuevamente el liderazgo del senador Rick Scott en el Senado de los Estados Unidos. Nuevamente, que Dios bendiga al condado de Miami-Dade, que Dios bendiga a los Estados Unidos de América.
Thank you. God bless you. And now we're gonna ask someone else who's running in a very tough race in the congressional district 24, part of which is in Miami-Dade, part of which is in Broward County. Please welcome Jesus Navarro.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I want to congratulate Senator Scott, Alina Garcia, Carlos Jimenez, Dariel, everybody here that's coming out to support such an amazing senator and former governor. I think this election is very important because now more than ever, we need everybody to get involved, to come out to vote Republican down the ballot. And with that said, you know, I want to mention, I've never had anyone call me personally to congratulate me on my race. It's my second time running. And I had the first call from Senator Rick Scott, who called me personally to thank me and congratulate me on my race. And that, for me, was very, very personable. And like President Trump, he's definitely a man of the people. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me a call.
You got a raise,
Yeah.
so you need to ask for the vote.
Yes, absolutely. I would urge everybody to please get out and go vote for me, Jesus Gabriel Navarro. It's extremely important. I have an uphill battle. Yes, it's true. The issue in the district is obviously, you know, the amount of registered Democrats versus registered Republicans. That continues to be an issue. I have been working over the last 3.5 years on registering voters specifically in the district to help flip that district. So anybody that you know, any opportunity that you have to get anyone to get out and go vote, please go and do so. Bring them along. It's extremely important because after this election, we might not even have, you know, a country. So please, let's make sure that everybody is dedicated, and anything that anyone here can do to get involved and help their local candidates, not just President Donald J. Trump, but Senator Rick Scott, Carlos Jimenez, Alina Garcia, and everyone else that's here, and all these wonderful patriots that are joined with us today, and veterans, please make sure you go and do that. And with that, I conclude my message. So thank you. God bless you all. God bless Senator Rick Scott, everybody here, and the beautiful country and free state of Florida. Yeah. Oh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so the senator's time is extremely limited. He's got a lot of places to go. We're trying to crunch in a lot. There is one more person that we've asked to speak. This person really brings the view, the world view of what is going on in the world, the choices that we have to make. She is a person that has lived it. She went from one socialist communist country and then ended up in another one, and God bless her, she's here. She is the voice of conservatism all over Central, South, and Latin America. Please welcome Miss Lourdes Urbieta.
Thank you. How are you?
Thank you for being here.
Well, my name is Lourdes Urbieta. I'm very grateful to be invited to be here. I represent part of the Venezuelans with Senator Rick Scott. We don't need more socialism. We don't need more communism. We need freedom, and we need a voice to speak for the freedom and the liberty of Venezuela and Washington, and that is definitely Senator Rick Scott. He has done it as a governor, not once, but twice, and then as a senator, and I'm very grateful in the name of my Venezuelan fellows Venezuelans and also Venezuelans Americans, and I asked to vote for him because we need him for the cause of the freedom in Venezuela. Mi nombre es Lourdes Urbieta. Agradezco mucho la invitación a hablar hoy frente a todas estas queridísimas personalidades que siempre han estado del lado correcto de la historia, de la libertad y de la democracia, y principalmente pedir que voten por nuestro senador Rick Scott. Yo soy parte de esa coalición de venezolanos por Rick Scott y lo hago convencida de que es la mejor voz que necesitamos y que tenemos en el Senado de los Estados Unidos por la causa de la libertad y de la democracia de Venezuela y de otros países como Nicaragua, como Cuba. Y como decía mi gran amigo aquí, Alex Rizzo, no he sido víctima ni una, sino 2 veces del socialismo, porque yo también soy hija de refugiados cubanos. Así que mi llamado es a votar por el senador Rick Scott, porque necesitamos su voz, que su voz continúe por la libertad del hemisferio en el Senado de los Estados Unidos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Lourdes. So now very quickly, if there are any questions from the media and from the press, Senator Scott would go ahead and answer them.
Yeah, we're going to do a gaggle here. If everyone just come here with the senator. I know, the senator.
Okay, I'll come up here. Do you want to still use the mic? Okay, we'll use it. Okay, yeah, we can just. Okay, all right. So it's. Okay. Hi. How you doing? Okay. Okay. So, gracias por todos que están aquí. Esta elección en el 5 de noviembre es muy importante para el futuro de los Estados Unidos y la lucha por democracia Nicaragua, Colombia, todo América Latina. Fondos de los fuerzas armadas es muy importante para what you do. She voted with AOC and Dilip Omar. So she's a socialist and she should never represent the state. My good friend kicked her butt 4 years ago.